All right, today we're diving into something pretty wild. It's a framework called reality transurfing. And the core idea is, what if you don't have to build your dream life? What if you just have to choose it? Sounds out there, I know, but let's break it down.
So let's just jump right in with this massive question. What if every single version of your life, the one where you're a CEO, the one where you're a beach bum, the one where you took that other job, what if they all already exist? It's this mind-bending idea, kind of rooted in some interpretations of quantum physics, that suggests all possibilities are out there, just waiting.
Okay, so if we're gonna choose a reality, we first need to understand the map. And believe me, this isn't your average road map. This map is called the alternative space, and I want you to picture it, not as a straight line from past to future, but as this infinite field of possibilities, a massive quantum landscape where literally everything that could ever happen already coexists. Getting that promotion? It's a point on the map. Spilling coffee on your shirt this morning? That's another point. They're all there, simultaneously.
Yeah, I get it. An endless maze of different realities? It sounds like something right out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? The idea that there's a version of you who's a world-famous artist and another who never left their hometown, and they're both just out there? It's a head-scratcher for sure. But hang on, because this is where it gets really interesting. It's all about how you navigate that maze.
So if all these potential lives are just floating around in this alternative space, how do you get from here to there? How do you jump tracks? Well, according to this model, the controller is something you're using right now, this very second. So think of this massive grid as being divided up into different sectors, and each sector is its own unique, complete reality. Now here's the kicker. Every single thought, every emotion, every action you take, it's like a tiny nudge that pushes you from one sector into another. Your conscious focus, that's the navigation tool. It's the steering wheel. You're already driving through this landscape, whether you know it or not.
I love this analogy. Your mind is basically a remote control, and it's constantly tuning into different channels of reality. If you keep your focus locked on worry and frustration, you're just tuning into the worry and frustration channel. And guess what? The universe serves you up more of that. But if you consciously change the channel, if you aim your focus at what you actually want, you start tuning into the frequency where that reality is already happening.
Okay, hold on. I know what you're thinking. So wait, all I have to do is think about being rich and it'll happen? What about, my actual reality, my bills, my terrible boss, right? If it was just that simple, wouldn't we all be living perfect lives? There's gotta be something else going on, some interference that keeps us locked on the channels we don't want. And you'd be absolutely right. There is interference. Transurfing has a name for these invisible forces that keep us stuck. They're powerful, they're everywhere, and they're the reason we get caught in these endless loops of frustration and negativity. They're called pendulums. So what is a pendulum? Well, think of it like an energy vampire. When a bunch of people start thinking the same way, focusing on the same thing, that collective thought creates an energy structure that almost takes on a life of its own. And its only goal is to get bigger and stronger by feeding on the energy of the people who created it. And once you start looking, you see them everywhere. That heated political argument on social media, that's a pendulum, feeding on all that anger and conflict. The latest fashion trend everyone has to have, that's a pendulum, feeding on the desire to belong. Corporate culture, societal fears, wars, these are all massive, powerful pendulums, and they're designed to hook you in and drain you dry.
And here's the really scary part. The quote says it all. Pendulums are destructive because they could not care less about you as an individual. All they want is energy. And you know what the most potent, easy to harvest energy is? Fear, anger, guilt. Your personal well-being is completely irrelevant to them. You're just a battery. So how do they get you? Simple. They pull your strings. They use your emotions, fear, guilt, pride, ambition, like puppet strings. They'll provoke you, try to make you angry or afraid.
And the second you give them that emotional reaction, bam, you're hooked. You start feeding it your energy, and it drags you deeper and deeper into its reality, further and further from the life you are trying to tune into.
But it's not just these outside forces, these pendulums that we have to worry about. There's another trap, one that's a lot more personal, one that we actually create for ourselves. And honestly, it's one of the most counterintuitive parts of this whole thing.
It's called excess potential, which is just a fancy way of saying assigning too much importance to something. You know when you want something so badly it hurts? You obsess over it, you put it on a pedestal, your entire happiness depends on getting it? Well, according to Transurfing, doing that creates this huge energetic imbalance. And the universe apparently really hates imbalance. It will always, always try to restore it.
The balloon analogy is the perfect way to understand this. So you have a desire. That's the balloon. A little bit of air in it, that's your intention. That's good. But then you start pumping it full of excess importance, worry, desperation, obsession. The balloon gets bigger and tighter until it's totally unstable. And what does the universe do to fix this imbalance? It sends in what are called equalizing forces to pop the balloon. And suddenly, the thing you wanted so desperately is gone.
And doesn't this just explain so much? That feeling when you want something so badly that it seems to just run away from you? That's excess potential at work. That desperate, needy energy is literally repulsive. The goal is to dial it back, to move from obsession to just calm intention, to want it but not need it. That's when you stop repelling it and start becoming magnetic to it. Okay, so we've got the map of reality, and we've identified the traps, these pendulums trying to hook us from the outside, and this excess importance messing us up from the inside. So what do? How do we actually become a transurfer? How do we learn to ride these waves instead of getting crushed by them?
The first thing, and this is absolutely critical, is a mindset shift. You're not here to fight reality. You're not trying to build a new world from scratch. You're just choosing. You're a selector. The whole game is to simply stop paying attention to the reality you don't want and calmly, deliberately use that remote control to change the channel to the one you do.
So here's how you actually do it. Let's say you're in a meeting and a coworker says something passive-aggressive to get a rise out of you. That's a pendulum trying to hook you. Step 1, you see it for what it is. You acknowledge it. Ah, there's the pendulum. Step 2, you consciously lower the importance. You tell yourself, this is just a little energy game. It means nothing. I'm not playing. Step 3, you observe it, almost like you're watching a movie. You don't react emotionally. And then step 4, you just shift your focus back to what you want. You don't fight back, you don't argue, you just change the channel in your head.
And let's be super clear about something. This is not about being passive or just letting people walk all over you. It's actually the opposite. It's an active, extreme mental control. You are making an active choice not to waste your valuable energy on pointless drama. You're moving from being a pawn in the game to being an observer of the game. And that neutrality, that's your superpower. It's what lets you stay balanced and keep steering no matter what's going on around you. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Nothing can disturb my peace unless I want it to. That's the whole transurfing mindset in a nutshell. It's realizing that you are the gatekeeper. You are the one who decides whether outside events get to mess with your inner state. When you choose neutrality, you take back your power. You become the master of your own focus.
So what's the big takeaway here? The wildest part about transurfing is that it suggests you don't even have to believe it for it to work. The idea is that the universe doesn't respond to your beliefs, it responds to your frequency, your state of being. So here's a challenge. Forget believing. Just try it as an experiment. For just one day, try to spot a pendulum in the wild. Try to consciously lower the importance of one thing that's stressing you out. Just see what happens. Because if this is right, a completely different reality could be just one conscious thought away.